We're talking about Clarify today, our 50 triumphant years, and Clarify is a proud partner with United Way. And the first thing I want to talk briefly about is tell me a little bit about the value that Clarify adds to United Way's existing services they help the community seek out.
Well, United Way is all about partnership. It's all about finding the best and the brightest, the most effective of partners to help make a change in a positive way for our community. And there's none better than Clarify. Their work specifically on financial literacy is unrivaled, and that's why we have such a close working relationship, because we are able to recognize the fact that we share so many common interests in providing that understanding to the people that we serve, that having a good financial footing is so critical to becoming an even greater success in whatever course that your life might take you. So having Clarify as a partner with United Way is just a natural.
That's great. Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
It's important to have that financial footing, and so many people in the community, they don't have it or they need to find it still. So we're really happy to be a partner and help you guys,
And that's exactly right. It's a recognition of the fact that working together in order to give folks an understanding that you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. Mm-hmm. That once you get past that, and once you are able to get into serious financial planning for the long term, it's then that you realize your dreams. It's then that you can finally grab hold of and make that family sustaining job a reality. It's then that home ownership becomes a reality. It's then that you can think about either college for yourself or for your children and for their children. And that all comes from the education, that all comes from the work that Clarify is able to do. And of course, one of the key components of the work for both of us is the volunteer income tax assistance program, and making that that first kernel, that first seed of getting money to infuse it into the economy by allowing folks to make sure they get what's coming to them, yes, exactly, but that they use it wisely once they get it as well. And that's a critical component of the program, and that really is what makes our relationship, the United Way relationship with Clarify, such a win-win.
That's great. I think we're done. That's fantastic.
Sure.
Well, that's true, because there's the getting the ITC and also managing it too.
Yeah,
so
and that's really it. I mean, and Nakia in a couple of minutes, I'm sure, is going to do a lot better job on identifying just how significant, how important getting the money is in the first place. In that, study after study has indicated that that is such a poverty buster. Mm-hmm. But also, it's not just getting it, it's managing it effectively and teaching those skills. That's such a critical part of what it is that we do. And, look, the good news for all of us is that we live in a caring community. We have a lot of 501Cs out there, over 3,000 of them. That means that there are a lot of folks who are involved in causes and events in order to try to make the community better. But when one can bust through and be around for 50 years, you know what the 50th anniversary says about Clarify? They're getting it right. They're doing the right things. The bad news is that there's the need, but the good news is, the even better news is that Clarify is going to be around for the next 50 years in order to be able to address those problems. So, as I said, I mean, it's just a natural for us to be involved with an organization like that.
Awesome, indeed. We talked about the EITC and the VITA tax assistance as one accomplishment we're very proud of, and we're very happy to receive funds from United Way to continue that. In terms of our partnership, what is your organization, or what is United Way most proud of, would you say?
I hope that the thing that Clarify is most proud of is the thing that I personally am most proud of. It's that there's somebody out there. There are a lot of somebodies out there who I've never met, who, because of our partnership, the United Way Clarify partnership, are in fact homeowners today, are in fact on the road to realizing their dreams. It's an individual at a time changing their lives. That's the greatest accomplishment of the program. It's putting those folks on the course to, as I said before, a family-sustaining job, home ownership, and being able to provide for their children and their children's children. That's the true success. That's the ultimate accomplishment that we should all take great pride in.
Definitely, yeah. And our tagline, of course, is lifelong financial literacy, so that is very fitting for that. I think we've already touched on why is financial guidance and literacy important for families and individuals, and even our talking about our anniversary. What does that milestone say about
Sure.
Clarify? We really hit on that nicely. Let's maybe talk a little bit more broadly about how United Way has all these partners in Philadelphia, and tell me about what is United Way's role in bringing these organizations together and sort of being the unifying force there?
One of the key components of what it is that our United Way does in the community is we act as a convener. We act as an entity that brings together all of those different well-meaning, cause-driven programs out there to try to help them to pool resources so that they can maximize the effect of what it is that they're doing, and to bring greater focus in areas in where perhaps we're not as involved. We as a community, as a general community, aren't as involved as we need to be. So it's trying to create efficiencies, trying to create the opportunity as well, though, for us to, all of us as a community, to get into areas that we need to in order to maximize benefit. So we kind of help to identify, as I said earlier, some of those folks out there who are doing it perhaps a little more efficiently, a little more economically, a little better, capture what it is that they're doing, to share that good news with everyone else so that a rising tide raises all boats, so that in fact we can make an even greater impact, recognizing the fact that together we are much more strong than we could possibly hope to be separately.
Right, stronger together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my last question is talking about Philadelphia in general. We have a very high poverty rate. The city has a number of issues in its communities. What is one hope you have that our partnership and United Way and Clarify can help, further, or one specific thing in the city that you would hope that we would have a strong impact in?
Well, I think that we're well on the way to realizing that dream, and that is that the message of financial stability and financial literacy is so critical to the overall goal of trying to at least alleviate poverty, if not eliminate it. And that it is such a critical component of the holistic approach of United Way in our impact agenda of education, yes, and health, and addressing basic human need. But that fourth component is so vitally important, and it is creating an atmosphere for financial stability. For people to recognize the fact that that is a key component, and absent that, we will not be able to solve the greater challenges of this community, and we will not be able to alleviate the challenges of poverty until we all understand that creating that atmosphere in which, yes, we're able to make sure that people who don't have the resources that they need are able to access them, but they know how to manage them too, is so vitally important. So continuing the work with Clarify in hopes that we can expand it and address the needs of many more people within the region would be a dream that every day we work together in order to make it a reality.